Let me tell you about them pastors in them pulpits. Got my people thinking that they righteous, who they fooling. Come on, tell the truth, you know it's all about the money. The congregation broke, but you ballin', ain't that something? They some greedy dogs, they don't care about y'all, no, not at all. Breaking laws, they just like to talk. Got my people lost. Growing up, there were things in the church that I noticed, like how the pastors play on all the people's emotions. Then they get to dancing, I'm just looking like, wow, pastor got him where he want him, time to pass the place around. I saw people dropping $5, $10, $20 bills, thinking they paying tithes, but really they paying him. Why he riding in the Benz, y'all driving in the Hoopty? These pastors think they slick, listen, they could never fool me. Truth be told, it's about the monetary gain. They don't care about your salvation, they just at your pockets, man. With them hypocrites, no, I can't take them serious, man, they be on some other ish, telling lies and I'm sick of it, so sick of it, I don't fool with them hypocrites, no, I can't take them serious, man, they be on some other ish, telling lies and I'm sick of it, so sick of it, hypocrites. There's some pastors out there who know they fake. I can name a few, I'ma start with T.D. Snakes. He had an interview with Oprah Winfrey one day and said in order to get to God there's more than one way. I have to expose these cats for lying on my father. There's another guy that goes by Crypto Dollar. His name says it all, create a flow with dollars. Listen to his sermons, all of them awful. Joel Osteen, wipe that smile off your face. I hear you charging people just to get inside the gate. I almost forgot about your boy Eddie Long. Heard he was a booty snatcher. What the hell going on? Matthew chapter 24, verse 5. Deception hella real, I wouldn't even tell a lie. And y'all gon' tell you what it is every time. Regardless of how you feel, I'ma always speak my mind. I don't fool with them hypocrites, no, I can't take them serious, man, they be on some other ish, telling lies and I'm sick of it, so sick of it, I don't fool with them hypocrites, no, I can't take them serious, man, they be on some other ish, telling lies and I'm sick of it, so sick of it, hypocrites, man. Alright, straight up, I'm not going to apologize for nothing that I just said. Do your research. I want you to go online and research 501c3. And there you will see where the pastors, they can't speak on certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because they're under the government. They're working for the government. You know, they tax exempt. So everything that's going into the church is really going in their pocket. You feel what I'm saying? These preachers still out here teaching prosperity, teaching the people that there's hope. You feel me? Obama just signed a transatlantic deal where they moving all the jobs from America to other countries. There's no hope for America, bro. This country is falling. And the fact that these preachers know this, and they still teaching the people, hey, you know, go out there and get the money, money. Well, y'all gotta come out of this mess, man, straight up. And judge them by their works. You go to church every Sunday and they always talk about money. That's already right, man. A lot of these preachers just in it for the money. They don't care about your salvation. They don't care about you. Y'all need to wake up.
right, Shalom.
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 First, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to our Creator and Maker, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And we want to say Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered across the four corners of the earth. This is Mikael.
My name is Yakanan.
My name is Shedekiah.
Brother Shafar.
Brother Yakim.
And we got Brother Abiyah, the messenger at the side, moderating the boards. And today's lesson is, if a man does not work, he shall not eat, spiritually and physically.
That's right.
So if a man does not work, he should not eat. And today we're going to we prepared a special lesson for you guys. We're going to be using the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. So if you have the copy, bring it out, because we're going to use it today. We're going to be using the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs to expound on this lesson.
Come.
So as always, we want to start out with John chapter 8, verse 32.
John chapter 8, verse 32.
Bring it out.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Just can't get no plainer than that. You should know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So we always try to labor doing this work in truth and sincerity and bring this work out.
That's right.
Next, let's go to Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
So as always, we follow these guidelines. We bring the truth out. We go precept upon precept, line upon line, here little, there little. We try to bring multiple witnesses to substantiate what we're bringing out in the Word. We don't believe in doing sound bites from the Scriptures. We got multiple witnesses. We got to be thorough in doing this work. Next, we're going to go to Daniel chapter 12, verse 4.
The book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4. The book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
So knowledge shall be diminished.
Knowledge shall be increased.
So this is a prophecy that the Most High told Daniel that knowledge shall increase in the end times.
That's right.
We're doing a special lesson using the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, and a lot of you guys aren't familiar with this book because a lot of people don't deal with books outside of the KJV 1611 Bible. But this is the end times where knowledge should be increasing, and the Most High has opened our eyes to examine some of these works that people may despise or disregard, and see the gems, the spiritual gems that are filled with. So we want to share them with you today. Hopefully this lesson will be edifying to you.
God.
So now let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, starting at verse 6. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 6 to 15.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 3, verse 6 through 15. Now we command you, brethren, in the name of our Adonai, Yahushua HaMashiach, that ye withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after the tradition which he received of us. For yourselves know how ye ought to follow us, for we behave not ourselves disorderly among you.
Constantly, we gotta be separated and separate ourselves from the people that are rebel rousers, that are not trying to walk in the righteous and conductive manner.
God. Neither did we eat any man's bread for naught, but wrought with labor and travail night and day, that we might not be chargeable to any of you.
That we should be a burden to you.
Not because we have not power, but to make ourselves an example unto you to follow us.
So this is Apostle Paul talking about while they was doing the work spiritually, they also worked physically so they wouldn't be a burden to the people that they was serving.
Come.
And a lot of pastors, they want to preach a sermon unless an opera plate is passed around, or if you're a big time preacher like Jake's Creflo Dollar, you got to have a couple racks up front for them to even step in your town.
Salakia. And a lot of us, we want to depend on only what our pastor says instead of working through these scriptures and rightfully dividing this word so we can find out the messages that are in there instead of sitting down with each other and sharpening each other's swords like we need to do as a people, because the iron does sharpen the iron.
God, Salakia. Also, we want to be an example to the brethren that are following us and are watching us. All the IKM that's out there, you want to hold yourself righteous and you're the one who hold yourself to be righteous because you're being watched. Okay, you want to be an example to others, as Peter said too as well. Okay, continuing. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat.
Salakia. So if you're not working, you should not be eating physically. But spiritually, you're not going to eat either if you're not sitting around with your brothers and you're dividing the spiritual bread so that you can grow with each other.
For we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, working not at all, but are busybodies.
Wait, they're what?
But are busybodies. Now them that are such we command and exhort by our Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach, that with quietness they work and eat their own bread. But ye, brethren, be not weary in well-doing. If any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man, and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. Yet count him not as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother.
So if brothers is not out there putting in this work like they should be, then you should be rebuking them to a righteous act so that they come back into this fold and rightfully divide this word with you. Or if they just sitting around physically and they're not working, you should be rebuking them to go out and perform physical work. We got families to take care of. We got people in our communities that need help. We got widows that may need your help because they don't have husbands. It's time for us to pull ourselves up.
And let me bring this out going in the spirit. This is Luke chapter 10 verse 2. Luke chapter 10 verse 2. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest is truly great, but the laborers are few. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done out here for the Most High. And we need everybody's able to come and stand with us and help us.
That's right. We need anybody who really fears the Most High to stand and be on deck with us.
A lot of work out here to do, because a lot of people don't know the Most High according to the scriptures. So therefore he said unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore at Yahweh of harvest, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. So those of you that know you're Israelites, you've been watching the videos, you've been studying, you need to come and work with your brothers so we can get this work done together. We need to gather together and do this work. Next, you got anything else to bring out from there?
No, I think you pretty much expounded on it.
All right, next we're going to go to the Testament of Issachar. We're going to go into the book, the Testament of Issachar. We're going to start at chapter 1. The first two verses in chapter 1. We're going to go over the intro of it.
The Testament of Issachar, the fifth son of Jacob and Leah. Chapter 1, verse 1 and 2.
There you go.
The copy of the words of Issachar, for he called his sons and said to them, hearken, my children, to Issachar your father. Give ear to the words of him who is beloved of Yahweh.
And Khan, this reads similar to Genesis 49, where Jacob, before he died, he called his sons together so he could tell them their blessings and what their future is. So this starts off similar to Genesis 49, where Issachar is telling his children what's going to befall upon them in the future.
Verse 2. I was born the 5th son of Jacob by way of hire for the mandrakes.
Okay.
Verse 3. For Reuben my brother brought in mandrakes from the field, and Rachel met him and took them.
And it's like this is the story in Genesis 30 also. So this is Issachar's version of the story, Genesis 30, about Rachel and Leah, the wives of Jacob, making a deal over mandrakes, which is apples.
And Reuben wept, and at his voice Leah my mother came forth. Now these mandrakes were sweet-smelling apples, which were produced in the land of Haran, below a raven of water. And Rachel said, I will not give them to thee, but they shall be to me instead of children. For thy Elohim Yahweh hath despised me, and I have not borne children to Jacob.
So Jacob's second wife, which is Rachel, wasn't able to bear children like her sister Leah was able to bear multiple sons to him. And that's a value that a woman had to a man in the ancient days, to be able to bear children. If he wasn't able to bear children, then you kind of didn't have much value to a man then. So that bothered Rachel a lot, that she wasn't able to bear children for her husband. Continue.
Verse 7. Now there were 2 apples, and Leah said to Rachel, let it suffice thee that thou hast taken my husband. Wilt thou take these also? And Rachel said to her, thou shalt have Jacob this night for the mandrakes of thy son. And Leah said to her, Jacob is mine, for I am the wife of his youth.
And we know that even though when Jacob got there and worked for their father Laban, he originally wanted to marry Rachel and not her sister Leah, because according to Jacob, Rachel was much finer than Leah. But Laban was brought trickery in and deceived Jacob, and Jacob ended up marrying her sister Leah first. That's why she's saying that she was the wife of Jacob's youth, because she was his first wife through deception.
Verse 10. But Rachel said, boast not, and vaunt not thyself, for he espoused me before thee, and for my sake he served our father 14 years, and had not craft increased on the earth, and the wickedness of men prospered. Thou wouldest not now see the face of Jacob.
Okay.
For thou art not his wife, but in craft wert taking to him in my stead. And my father deceived me and removed me on that night, and did not suffer Jacob to see me. For had I been there, this had not happened to him.
And this lines up with the Genesis account where Jacob thought he was marrying Rachel, but he didn't find out that he accidentally married his sister, or her sister Leah, the next day when it was daylight. And he got a good look at it. Salaki on that. Let's keep going.
Verse 14. Nevertheless, for the mandrakes I am hiring Jacob to thee for one night. And Jacob knew Leah, and she conceived and bare me, and on account of the hire I was called Issachar.
So that's how Issachar got his name, because he was hired for the mandrakes, where they made a deal to for the mandrakes that Leah could have spend the night with Jacob. Now we want to skip over to chapter 3 and get to the meat of this lesson about if a man does not work, neither shall he eat, spiritually and physically.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 3, verse 1. When therefore I grew up, my children, I walked in uprightness of heart, and I became a husbandman for my father and my brethren. And I brought in fruits from the field according to season.
So hold it there. So Issachar, when he grew up, he found what his purpose was, to be a hard husbandman, which is to work the fields, raise cattle, to grow food, to feed his brothers and his family. And spiritually, we're called to be husbandmen for the Most High. We're supposed to go around the field, which is this road, and fish for the elect of the Most High and bring them to this knowledge,
Come.
these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Verse 2. And my Father blessed me, for he saw that I walked in rectitude before him.
Okay, now I want to go to Matthew chapter 14, verse 17 to 20, where Yahushua gave the disciples, they're called to be fishers of men. Matthew chapter 14, verse 17 to 20.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verse 17. And they say unto him, We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Verse 18. He said, Bring them hither to me.
Oh, Slock, I must have gave you the wrong passage. Let me see what the...
Salakia. Is it 4?
Oh, Matthew 4, 17. Slocky, Matthew 4.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 17. From that time, Yahushua began to preach and to say, Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Okay.
Verse 18, And Yahushua, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw 2 brethren, Simon, called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers.
Okay, so the brothers Simon and Peter were fishers when Yahushua saw them. They was out there fishing for a fish.
Verse 19, And he saith unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Verse 20, And they straightway left their nets and followed him.
Gone. So he received the calling to be, instead of being fishers of fish, to be fishers of men. And we need to, this is the fishing season, the season to reel in the fish for the Most High, because it's not always going to be here. Give me Jeremiah 16:16. So we should be taking heed to these fishermen that the Most High has ordained to go out there and search for his people.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord.
So behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord.
And they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters.
Wait, so the fishing season is not going to be forever, it's going to be for a season. What's he going to send after the fishers?
And I will send many hunters.
Okay.
And they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks.
So if you're rejecting the fishers that the Most High sent for your benefit, to be a blessing to you, to give you the gospel and the truth, if you want to reject them and be rebellious, then the Most High is going to send the hunters after you then. So you got to be, so you should be gladly receiving the men of the Lord that's trying to give you this information, fill you with these laws, statutes, and commandments then. Because fishing season is not going to be forever. It's going to be hunting season next after fishing season. You do not want to be caught up in hunting season. Let's go to Proverbs 12, 11, and 12. Proverbs chapter 12, verses 11 to 12. Come on.
This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 11 and 12. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding.
Hold it, so if you till up the land, you should be satisfied with bread, but if you follow a vain person, someone that not sent by the Most High, that's corrupt, then you're going to be void of understanding then.
Come.
And like it says in Proverbs 21:16, a man out of his way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead then. So you do not want to be in that position. You need to follow a man of understanding.
Come.
In verse 12.
The wicked desire the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yielded fruit.
So the root of the righteous yielded fruit.
Come.
So it's important to follow a righteous person that emulates the Most High God, Yahweh. Next, let's go back to the Testament of Issachar, chapter 3, starting at verse 3.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 3, verse 3. And I was not a busybody in my doings, nor envious and malicious against my neighbor.
Okay.
I never slandered anyone, nor did I censure the life of any man walking as I did in singleness of eye.
Okay.
Therefore, when I was 35 years old, I took to myself a wife, for my labor wore away my strength. And I never thought upon pleasure with women, but owing to my toil, sleep overcame me.
So Issachar did not have any bad habits. Sound like he was a very sound, good man of the Most High. And when you're busy on your purpose, you do not have time to get in trouble or meddle with people's business. Let's look at Leviticus chapter 19, verse 16. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 16. All right, bring it out.
This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am Yahweh.
So you should not go up and down as a talebearer against thy people. A lot of you guys don't have a purpose out there. You're not on the grind trying to work to make money. You're not getting these scriptures trying to get spiritual edification. And when you have too much time, you're going to get in trouble and meddle in business you do not have business get into. Like you'll spend all day on Facebook trying to go through people's business to find dirt on them. So you need to have a purpose, have a productive life, and learn. There's a lot of information, knowledge out there to get. You should be taking advantage with this information highway and use it for your benefit instead of just looking for someone's fall or folly to laugh at. And also, Issachar, a lot of people, we gotta get our priorities together. Before chasing the women, we gotta know how to make money, earn a living, and how to be men to take care of ourselves also. The women will come, but you gotta have business before pleasure. So be about your purpose. Working, you don't always gotta work for the white man, but you can also create your own business opportunities also. And just try to be the best person you can be. Verse 6 of Testament of Issachar.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 3, verse 6. And my father always rejoiced in my rectitude, because I offered through the priests to thy Elohim Yahweh all first fruits. Then to my father also.
Now this is interesting. This is Issachar talking about he offered to the priests the first fruits. And this was before the Levitical priesthood was established. A lot of us don't know that there was a priesthood that preceded the Levitical priesthood, because the Levitical priesthood wasn't established till after the Israelites left Egypt. So to read more about this priesthood, let's go to Genesis 14, starting at verse 18. Genesis 14, verse 18. So a lot of you guys didn't know that, but there was a priesthood around during the time of the 12 patriarchs. All right, bring it up.
This is Genesis chapter 14, verse 18. And Melchizedek, and Melchizedek, king of Shalem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High Elohim.
Well, Melchizedek was the priest of the Most High of Elohim. And Melchizedek means, Melech means king, Zedek means righteousness. His name is king of righteousness. And that's the title of the priesthood. Keep going on verse 19.
And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High Elohim, possessor of heaven and earth.
Okay.
And blessed be the Most High Elohim, which had delivered thine enemies into thy hand.
And what did Abraham do?
And he gave him tithes of all.
We know according to the Bible, the tithes go to the priest. And so Abraham respected Melchizedek and gave him tithes of all the spoils he got from when he conquered those nations to get his nephew Lot and his family back.
Come.
So I just wanted to let you know that there was a priesthood before the Levitical priesthood, and that they collected tithes also. And we're under the Melchizedek priesthood now, but these pastors, they don't deserve tithes because they're not men of the Lord.
Come.
They're not under the Melchizedek priesthood, they're under Satan's priesthood.
That's right.
And the Bible commands in Sirach 12, give not to an evil man.
That's right.
So we just wanted to bring that out about the priesthood. Let's finish it. Testament of Issachar, chapter 3, verse 7.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 3, verse 7. And thy Elohim increased 10,000-fold his benefits in my hands. And also Jacob my father knew that Yahweh aided my singleness.
Okay.
For on all the poor and oppressed I bestowed the good things of the earth and the singleness of my heart.
So upon all the poor and oppressed, Issachar bestowed the good things of the earth and the singleness of his heart. So let's go to Matthew 26:11. And we'll pull another one after that. So Ezekiel wants to read it then. Yeah, let 26:11. Give y'all a second to pull it up then. And pull James 2:14. All right, bring it out.
For ye have the poor always
What are
with
you reading?
Call it out, right?
Matthew 26, verse 11. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always.
All right, so Yahushua is saying that we are always going to have the poor with us. And we should, so as men of the Lord, we should look out for them.
Come.
And also with wisdom, because there's a lot of people that don't deserve help either, because they'll use your money to buy drugs or support their poor habits. So
Come.
use wisdom when helping the poor. In James 2:14.
Come. Yeah, it's very, very good that you have a discernment between someone who was poor and someone who was a bum. Someone who was poor can't do for themselves. A bum does not want to do for themselves. They want you to pay for their liquor and bad habits and things of that nature, which you shouldn't be helping them out to do. That's why in Sirach 12 it says they will use what you have to render you.
That's the reason why they're always going to stay poor. They don't deserve help at all because they don't want to better themselves.
Come.
So we're helping poor people that want to better themselves and get themselves out of the trap, the pit that they fell in.
Come.
James 2, verse 14 to 17.
This is James chapter 2, verse 14 to 17. What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he had faith and have not works, can faith save him?
Okay.
If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in shalom, be ye warned and filled. Notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body. What doth it profit?
So hold it. So if a brother is naked or destitute of food, you just say, the Most High bless you, and let me pray for you. But you have the means to help them, but you do not. You just speak to them good words. What good does it do then?
Come.
Continue. Verse 17.
Even so, faith, if it had not works, is dead, being alone. Excuse me.
Alright, so if you have the means to help a brother or sister that's in need and need your help, but you just say, God bless you, or pray but not giving no substance, and you have it, and you're able to, then your works is dead then.
Come.
So we have a responsibility to look out for our people that need that are in sincerity. Anybody have anything to bring out about that then?
No.
All right, let's keep on going. Let's go back to the Testament of Issachar, chapter 4 now.
The Testament Issachar, chapter 4, verse 1. And now hearken to me, my children, and walk in singleness of heart, for I have seen in it all that is well pleasing to Yahweh. Verse 2. The single-minded man coveteth not gold. He overreacheth not his neighbor. He longeth not after manifold dainties. He delighteth not in varied apparel. He doth not desire to live a long life, but only waiteth for the will of Yahweh.
Okay, so he's talking about the singleness. He's saying the same thing that Yahushua is. We want to look at Matthew chapter 6 to show you the connection of it. Matthew 6, starting at verse 19. So it's Issachar and the Testament of Issachar saying we should walk in singleness. He's saying the same thing that Yahushua said.
This is, anybody else want to read?
Oh, you're a good reader, go ahead.
All right. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal.
Okay.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Come on. Verse 21.
For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Come.
All right, so when we have a heart according to the Most High, then our top priority is laying treasures in heaven by doing these good works, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, being a benefit and blessing to our brothers and sisters out there. So we should be laying treasures in heaven. Keep on going.
The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single,
So it says, the light of the body is the eye, and therefore thy eye should be single. So he's saying the same thing that Issachar's talking about, singleness. Keep going.
the whole body shall be full of light.
And I believe the eye is another way of saying the mind. The mind should be single.
Salakia. In other, that's where a lot of that's where they get the mind's eye from. That's where you get that term, the mind's eye, from.
Or pretty
The
much
mind's eye.
yeah.
Well said, Khan. Keep going.
All right. But if thine eye be evil,
So if your mind's eye be evil, then
thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?
so if you have a mind that's evil, then you're gonna live a life contrary to y'all's. So you want to have a mind that's full of light, that want to please and serve the Most High God.
Come.
Verse 24.
Yeah. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold on to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Elohim and Mammon.
That makes it plain that no man can serve two masters. And I want to bring out James chapter 1 verse 8 also, real quickly. James chapter 1 verse 8 says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So we got to be single-minded and not double-minded. You can't say I love Yahweh and put up a Christmas tree in December.
Come.
Or say I love the Lord and carve a turkey on Thanksgiving. So we gotta be legit and sincere in this walk. We cannot serve two masters.
Or you can't change the names of Halloween to Harvest Treats Day and Hallelujah Night. Or you can't change Thanksgiving to Emoju Kamaru or whatever you want to change it to, and it still be around the same time of Thanksgiving. You just change the name and put an RGB spin on it. You can't do that.
Con, we're gonna put this out for you also. You can't say you know the Most High and bring in New Year's at the end of December.
Con.
Or winter time either.
Come.
Exodus 12 says that the spring is when New Year falls. Exodus 12. So we can't be double-minded. Let's go back to the Testament of Issachar.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 4, verse 4. And the spirits of deceit have no power against him, for he looketh not on the beauty of women, lest he should pollute his mind with corruption.
Okay, Slaki, so when we're single-minded with Yahweh, we're going to have self-control.
Come.
You're not going to overindulge in alcohol. You're not going to look at a woman especially a married woman, in a wicked, lustful way. You're supposed to have self-control then, if you're single-minded.
Verse 5. There is no envy in his thoughts, nor malicious person maketh his soul to pine away, nor worry with insatiable desire in his mind.
Okay.
Verse 6. For he walketh in singleness of soul, and beholdeth all things in righteousness of heart.
Single voice, so you're going to uphold all things in the righteousness of the heart. You're going to uphold the word of God, the whole word, the whole Bible in the righteousness of the heart, and just not sections that you favor.
Shutting eyes made evil through the error of the world, lest he should see the perversion of any of the commandments of Yahweh.
So if you have a dark eye, you're going to see problems. You're going to have a problem with the commandments of the Most High then. I don't want to keep the Sabbath, or I'm going to hang my Christmas tree even though the Bible says not to. You're going to go contrary if you have a dark eye.
Come.
Or being double-minded. All right, chapter 5 then.
The Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, the Testament of Naphtali, chapter 5, verse 1. The Testament of Issachar, Salakia. The Testament of Issachar, chapter 5, verse 1. Keep therefore, my children, the law of Yahweh, and get singleness, and walk in guilelessness, not playing the busybody with the busyness of your neighbor.
So walk in righteousness. Be single-minded. Have your mind towards Yahweh. We can't serve two masters.
Come. But love thy Elohim Yahweh and your neighbor. Have compassion on the poor and weak.
So ain't that the two great commandments? Love the Lord with all your heart and all your mind and all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. So he's saying it right there in Issachar 5:2, the two great commandments.
Come. And that's how you should be putting forth labor towards the Most High, showing your love, rebuking your neighbors, like letting them know they're going off, and even exhorting them and provoking them to a righteous act, you know, keeping them from going astray from this word.
God, let me bring out 1 John 4. See if I can find that real quick. I'll give you the passage in a second. I'll be out. Yeah, 1 John chapter 4, starting at verse 20 then. It says, if a man say, I love Elohim, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love Elohim, who he see not seen?
Come.
And this commandment have we from him, that we who love Elohim love his brother also. And that is something that we are missing in our community, is brotherhood and camaraderie with each other.
God.
We should not be competing with each other, but we should be working with each other and build with each other to build a strong nation.
Come. So you got to be going out here working to build your community up, to bring your brothers back to these law, statutes, and commandments, to be on these corners, telling your sisters, look, stop being whores, to tell the brothers, look, stop selling drugs. And I know brothers is mad at us out there because we probably breaking up themselves and everything we on our corners. But we out there to do the work of the Most High. And we know that he's spiritually going to feed us and make us stronger through his words.
Come on. And the scripture say that kingdom or nation divided cannot stand. So we need to unite and work with each other and build each other up in righteousness and come back to our the power that we're supposed to be in as kings and priests of the Most High.
Khan. And this is the work that you should be doing, refining your culture, because this is your culture, not a religion.
Khan. Back to the Testament of Issachar then.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 5, verse 3. Bow down your neck unto husbandry, and toil and labors in all manner of husbandry, offering gifts to thy Elohim Yahweh with thanksgiving.
Hold it, bring out Sirach 7:15.
Salakia.
Sirach 7:15.
Now showing thanksgiving, you gotta go out there and put in work for everything that the Most High has done to you. That's how you show thanksgiving. Not celebrating the genocide of your ancestors. That's not thanksgiving. This right here is showing thanksgiving. Letting yourself toil in the labors of the Most High. Being fishermen for the Most High in the name of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
That's right.
Bring it out.
Physically and spiritually.
That's right.
Sirach 7:15.
This is the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 7, verse 15.
Bring out.
Hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry.
Wait, I'm too good to work a 9 to 5.
Hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained.
Get multiple wives and take their paychecks.
Hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained.
Come.
Sell drugs to my brothers and sisters in the hood.
Hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained.
Hey, so sometimes we might not be able to get our dream job or position, but we got to start from somewhere.
That's right.
So the Most High blesses you for an opportunity, take it. And you can always work your way up. So be open-minded. If you ever get into the door, you can create other opportunities. You never know where the Most High will take you to.
Salakia. Yeah, you should also be fortunate that you have health and strength to even perform laborer's work. The Most High has blessed you with that. So there's a lot of us, a lot of Israelites out there that complain about not having, but you can have a lot less.
And we got to learn to be content also. We bring out Proverbs 30 verse 8. Because a lot of us, we want to have the big car, the big rims, and all that vanity stuff. And one of the quickest way to do is out in the hood, hustling, selling drugs, or doing something wicked. But Proverbs 30 verse 8 says, remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. So we want to be thankful for what the Most High bless us with. And He knows what we can handle. Because if we get riches or goods, He might pull us away from the truth then. So the Most High, we got to trust the Most High that He has us where He wants us to be at the time.
I want to bring up the book of Sirach, chapter 40. We're going to start verse 28 and read to 30. The book of Sirach, chapter 40, verse 28 to 30, and it reads, my son, lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg.
Wait, say that again.
My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg.
So here that says it's better to die than to beg. Begging is one of the most humble things you can do in life. And I hope I'm not ever in that position to be in, where you have to hold a sign saying I'll work for food or spare whatever you can. It's better to die to be a beggar. The Most High does not want us out there begging.
Verse 29. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life.
Wow, did you hear that? So if you depend on another man, according to the Most High, it's not even counted as a life.
For he polluted himself with other men's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof. Verse 30. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless,
Well, it also says that if you love to beg, you're shameless. That's what the Bible says. Read that again.
Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless,
Okay.
but in the belly there shall burn a fire.
And it's sad, some of our people want to live reckless lives, partying and getting on drugs and beg instead of living a clean life and working an honest job. They just want to live in pleasure all days. So they don't have no shame on begging and being needy on others.
Come on, and if you sitting out there begging, it said it's gonna be a fire in your belly that's gonna burn. So that means you ain't gonna know where your next meal gonna come from unless you get out and put in this work. Or you ain't even gonna know whether or not you're gonna be spiritually fed because you begging your pastor to give you this spiritual meat. Because you can't discern for yourself.
Yes, we gotta get out and work to get the understanding of the Most High and the Word. We gotta put in work in these scriptures and not depend on a wicked pastor. And for our daily bread too, we gotta put in work too in these jobs and however way you get your income.
Come.
We'll study to show ourselves approved.
Come.
We had Testament of Issachar then. That was a good precept. Testament of Issachar chapter 5, verse 4.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 5, verse 4. For with the first fruits of the earth will thy Elohim Yahweh bless you, even as he blessed all the saints from Abel unto now. Verse 5. For no other portion is given to you than of the fatness of the earth, whose fruits are raised by toil.
And that was the commandment, one of the commandments that the Most High gave to Adam after he kicked him out of the Garden of Eden. Let me see if I can find out where you have to toil to get the fruits of the earth. So this has been ordained for man since the beginning of time. See if I can find that real quick. Yeah, I think it's Genesis chapter 3, verse 17 says, And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree which I command thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow thou shalt eat of it the days of his life. The thorns also and the thistles there shall bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. I guess that's not quite the passage, Slakia. But this earth is supposed to be toil, takes work and labor to bring forth fruits from the ground. So we need to learn how to garden and grow food for ourselves. Also, that's a lost art because a lot of our parents and grandparents grew up with gardens and raising livestock in the yard. And then after the Civil Rights Movement, when they gave us welfare and benefits, our people got away from that. And got into mischief, started going into gangs and selling drugs and all that. So building gardens, raising livestock, that's our culture. And you gotta bring something to bring out there.
Yeah, I actually looked up the word toil in the Strong's, and it's H5998. It's toil, that is wearing effort, whether of body or mind. So labor, you know.
All right, Testament of Issachar, verse 6 or 7?
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 5, verse 6. For our father Jacob blessed me with blessings of the earth and of first fruits. And Levi and Judah were glorified by thy Elohim Yahweh, even among the sons of Jacob. For thy Elohim gave them an inheritance, and to Levi he gave the priesthood, and to Judah the kingdom.
And you can find out in the blessings that Moses and Jacob give them in Deuteronomy 33 and Genesis 49.
Verse 8. And do ye therefore obey them and walk in the singleness of your father. For unto Gad hath it been given to destroy the troops that are coming upon Israel.
So we know that Gad is a warrior then. That's his prophecy to destroy the troops. And we know that when the Europeans came here and invaded Americas, Gad gave them hell with that guerrilla warfare tactics. And eventually Esau had to use false treaties and biological chemical warfare like their dirty blankets to bring to defeat Gad.
And he had to bring in coons from other tribes that joined to them too.
Salakia also, even though Gad were destroyed, which was prophecy by the Most High, Esau recognized their tactics, and to this day they still use those guerrilla warfare tactics.
All right, Testament of Issachar chapter 6.
The Testament of Issachar chapter 6, verse 1. Know ye therefore, my children, that in the last times your sons will forsake singleness.
So pay attention. So it says in the last times, last days, your sons are going to forsake singleness, following the straight way of the Most High. Continue.
Know ye therefore, my children, that in the last times your sons will forsake singleness and will cleave unto insatiable desires, and leaving guilelessness will draw near to malice, and forsaking the commandments of thy Elohim, they will cleave unto Belial.
All right, so let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3 then, where Paul's saying the same thing.
First verse?
Yeah.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1.
Bring it on.
This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Elohim, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away.
So Paul's saying the same thing that Issachar prophesied that his people will be doing to this day, where they turned away from following the way, righteous way of the Most High. And we're living in perilous times now, where people are doing whatever they feel and desire. We're gonna go to read the last part in Testament of Issachar 6:1 also. We're gonna deal with that Belial.
And forsaking the commandments of thy Elohim Yahweh, they will cleave unto Belial.
So Belial, what's Belial? Let's look at 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 12. It says that they will forsake the commandments of Yahweh and cleave unto Belial. So I'm going to bring out 1 Samuel chapter 2 to expound more about the spirit of Belial.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 12. Now the sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They knew not Yahweh.
Wait, they knew the Most High?
They knew not Yahweh.
And when you look up Belial in the Hebrew dictionary, it means worthless. So people that are in the spirit of Belial, you are worthless to the Most High, and you do not know Yahweh.
So if you in the spirit of pimping up multiple wives and not going to work during the day, you in the spirit of worthlessness. If you just sat at home behind your keyboard instead of out putting on the work on these street corners, and you criticizing your brothers who's out there risking their lives, you worthless.
Worthless. In the spirit of Belial. Keep going.
And the priest's customs with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came, while the flesh was in seething, with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand.
Okay, so you see that? So this is talking about the duties of the priest, where they're serving the temple, what they're supposed to do. But what did these sons of Belial do? Keep going.
And he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh was brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Yisraeli that came thither.
So talking about all the Israelites that came thither. Keep going.
Also, before they burnt the fat, the priest's servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. And if any man said unto him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desireth. Then he would answer him, nay, but thou shalt give it me now, and if not, I will take it by force.
So these were wicked preachers or priests that were filling their own belly and corrupting the set apart ordinances that the Most High gave them in handling the sacrifice and offerings brought to the temple then.
Come.
But there's more. Bring out verse 22 in that. What else did these sons of Belial do?
So this is 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 22. 22?
Yes.
Now Eli was very old, and heard all that his sons did unto all Israel.
So these were shameless sons that everybody knew how wicked these boys were. And he even got back to the father.
And how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
So they were whoremongers also, then laying with them at the temple, the door of the tabernacle, instead of being clean and pure while doing the work of the Most High. It was corrupting the daughters of Israel.
And he said unto them, why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people. Nay, my sons, for it is no good report that I hear. Ye make Yahweh's people to transgress.
So that's the spirit of Belial, where you're transgressing the Most High, and you're going to cause others be influenced to cause them to transgress also.
Come.
So a lot of your Sunday bacon-eating preachers are sons of Belial, also causing people to transgress, saying that God loves everybody, or it's okay to celebrate Easter, Christmas, Sunday worship, anything that you can do whatever you want. A lot of your preachers are sons of Belial. You need to depart from them, stay away from them.
Come.
So where we at now? We at Testament of Issachar, chapter 6, verse 2. So back to the Testament of Issachar.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 6, verse 2. And leaving husbandry, they will follow after their own wicked devices. And they shall be dispersed among the Gentiles, and shall serve their enemies. And do ye therefore give these commands to your children, that if they sin, they may the more quickly return to thy Elohim.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to verse 2. That is a prophecy that happened in bring out Jeremiah 17:4. I'll read that again, verse 2.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 6, verse 2. And leaving husbandry.
Hold it. So after leaving husbandry, this is talking about the spiritual husbandry, which is after forsaking the work that the Most High commanded and ordained them to do. What happened?
And after leaving husbandry, they will follow after their own wicked devices.
So they left the law, statutes, commandments, the Israelites, and followed their own wicked devices.
Salakia. Also, when they say husbandry, that just means planting. And as you know, as men of the Lord, we are ordained to plant seeds in the people.
Come.
Gone. Keep going. And they shall
And they shall be dispersed among the Gentiles, and shall serve their enemies.
All right, now let's bring out Jeremiah 17:4. See if this lines up.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
So Issachar was a prophet, and his prophecy lines up with scriptures where the Israelites will be scattered into foreign lands and serving their enemies. So he's saying the same thing as in what we know as the Canonized Bible.
Come.
All right, verse 3.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 6, verse 3. And do ye therefore give these commandments to your children.
All right, so Lizzo says, give these commandments to your children because
that if they sin, they may the more quickly return to thy Elohim Yahweh.
So if you feed your kids with these knowledge, with the knowledge which is the law, statutes, and commandments, then they'll have the ability to turn quickly to the Most High, more quicker than someone that's not aware or never been taught the law, statutes, and commandments. And I want to bring this out in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, which says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So it's important to teach our kids these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's part of husbandry, work in this field. It starts at home, teaching your family.
Come. And not only that, you helping the Most High water the seed that you planting in the next generation to come.
Yeah, because these kids will take this knowledge and go to school and teach their friends. Well, why are you wearing fringes on your clothes? Or why aren't you available to play ball on Sabbath? They can be a light to their friends and teach people.
Con, and I absolutely love it when my son tells somebody when they celebrate these wicked holidays that that's paganism. Absolutely love it.
Yes, a salute to the Israelite parents that are planting seeds in their kids to do this work. Because they got to do this work after us if the Most High doesn't come back yet.
Con.
Paganism.
That's right.
And Salakia, a seed can be planted by anyone really, because I have a friend that's not in the truth. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to plant seeds forever, but he has a student, he's a teacher, and he has a student that wears his fringes, and he has a student that's in the truth, and his student is actually dropping knowledge on him.
Come.
You know? So, you know, suffer not the little children, you know, because the Most High works with anyone that really wants to work with him.
That's right. All right, now continue.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 6, verse 3. And do you therefore give these commandments to your children, that if they sin, they may the more quickly return to thy Elohim. Verse 4. For he is merciful and will deliver them, even to bring them back into their land.
So that's salvation in the kingdom of heaven, where the Most High is going to bring us back, the ones that are repentant, come back to our heritage that the Most High gave us. He's going to bring us back to our land, which is Israel.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 7, verse 1. Therefore, as ye see, I am 126 years old, and am not conscious of committing any sin.
All right, it's Lakia. There's different translations of the Testament of the Patriarchs. And there's one translation that says he is not conscious of committing any sin unto death. So that sounds more, that makes more sense than saying I'm not consciousness of not committing sins. We know that only Yahushua is the only man that walked on earth not committing sin. So I believe that's the right translation be he's not conscious of committing any sin unto death, which is like adultery or killing people, because there's different penalties for different sins.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 7, verse 2. Except my wife, I have not known any woman. I never committed fornication by the uplifting of my eyes.
Okay.
I drink not wine to be led astray thereby. I coveted not any desirable thing that was my neighbor's. Verse 4. Guile arose not in my heart. A lie passed not through my lips.
So Issachar had a lot of self-control. So trying to be a righteous man or woman of the Lord, you got to have a lot of self-control and know how to flee from temptations.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 6, verse 5. If any man were in distress, I joined my sides with his, and I shared my bread with the poor. I wrought godliness, all my days I kept truth.
So Issachar, he didn't hide himself from the poor. If somebody was in distress, he'll run to help them and see what he can do to help them. So we gotta look out for our brothers and sisters.
Verse
42.
Oh, you got something?
Yeah. Try to find it. This is Psalms 110, 142. That was true.
Yeah, 142. Yeah, Psalms 119, 142.
So I got a precept here. This is Psalms 119 and verse 142. There we go.
Speak it again.
This is Psalms 119 and verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy Torah is the truth. Torah just meaning law. So when Issachar says, we're gonna read that again.
If any man were in distress, I joined my sides with his, and I shared my bread with the poor. I wrought godliness all my days, and I kept truth.
Khan. So when he says he kept the truth, that means he kept the law.
Come.
So,
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 6, verse 6. I love Yahweh. Likewise also every man with all my heart.
Okay.
Verse 7. So do ye also these things, my children, and every spirit of Balaam shall flee from you.
So if you love the Most High, keep the law, statutes, commandments, then the spirit of Belial can't dwell in you, then. It'll flee from you.
Con. And if you're doing physical works in these spiritual works in this Bible, Balaam is going to flee from you. And if you committing your children to do physical works, such as helping out in the garden or doing chores around this house, they're going to be preoccupied with doing righteous acts instead of being out there joining gangs. And you should get them more involved in these family activities. Those are all a part of physical works, and you showing them how to raise a family. Or even the children in your neighborhood, get them together so they're not preoccupied with the foolishness that's going on around them. Because somebody out there in the neighborhood is going to teach them how to become a gangster or a fool.
And set them up for failure instead of setting them up for success.
Come. The Testament of Issachar, chapter 6, verse 7 again. So do you also these things, my children, and every spirit of Balaam shall flee from you. And no deed of wicked men shall rule over you. And every wild beast shall ye subdue, since ye have with you the Elohim Yahweh of heaven and earth, and walk with men in singleness of heart.
Okay.
The Testament of Issachar, chapter 7. And having said these things, he commanded his sons that they should carry him up to Hebron and bury him there in the cave with his fathers. Verse 9. And he stretched out his feet and died, the fifth son of Jacob, at a good old age, with every limb sound and with strength and abated, he slept the eternal sleep.
So Issachar lived a long, blessed life, lived to be 126 years, I believe, and he died peacefully.
Khan, Salakia, and he also died like he was a young man.
Right.
Because he said with strength unabated, so he was probably still walking around and probably kick a little butt if you need to.
And that's how Moses was too. It says in Exodus when he was 120 years old, he was still in a strong and good health when he died.
So the Most High took them up, you know what I'm saying, in righteousness.
If you take care of your bodies too, not defiling with pig meat, not overindulging in alcohol or doing drugs, you might be blessed too to live a long life too and die in a good state, still have strength and all that, instead of dying like in being in intensive care for 2 or 3 weeks at a short age for abusing your life. So it's important to take care of your temple and apply these laws, statutes, and commandments to your life, so you can live a long, healthy life as long as possible. Like what, the temple thing?
Yeah.
I think it's 1 Corinthians 3:16. About the temple, I think it is.
You don't take care of your temple, I'm sure. Just pull that scripture to go along with what you said.
Right.
Is it 3:16? Yes. And this is our 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17. If any man defile the temple of Elohim, him shall Elohim destroy. For the temple of Elohim is holy, which temple ye are. So that's just a precept right there to prove what the brother was saying, Brother Mikael was saying, that our temples are very important, not just to us, but to the Most High. Because it does not belong to us. It's just a vessel that He has given us, and we have to take care of it. You know? We take care of our houses, we take care of our cars that we don't even own, that we're paying a note on. So we should take care of the true temple, the gift that the Most High has given. We should take care of all gifts that the Most High gives us, and treat it greater than we treat our worldly carnal gifts.
Well said. Yes, if you despise the temple that the Most High leads to you, then he's going to finish you off, man. Anything else you guys want to bring then?
We just wanted to show that Yahweh Shai and the apostles, they also were workmen. Not only were they fishers of men, but they also had physical labors.
You want that thing about Yahweh Shai then?
Yeah, bring that up.
Guess we got Mark 6, chapter 6, starting at verse 2 then, talking about Yahweh Shai.
Mark chapter 6. This is the book of Mark, chapter 6, verse 2 and verse 3. And when the Shabbat day was come, he began to teach in the congregation. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence had this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Miriam, the brother of Jacob, and Joseph, and of Yehuda, and Shimon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him.
So is this not the carpenter then? So Yahweh Shai is known, besides his spiritual works, but his physical works too. Carpentry, he knew how to work with his hands. He had a skill, he had a trade. We know the Bible says that the servant is not greater than his master. So we should be skilled too and learn trade so we can take care of ourselves and our loved ones. Because money is a defense. So as long as we're on this earth, we need money. You can't go around broke and being a beggar. And we'll bring out Acts chapter 18, verse 1 to 3, show that Paul was a tradesperson also.
Acts what?
Chapter 18, 1 to 3.
You gonna read that?
Yeah, let him bring it out. Okay, come on.
After these,
Where are you reading from?
Acts chapter 18, verse 1 to 3.
Go ahead and read.
After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth
Good.
and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome and came up unto them
Verse 3.
and become he was of the same craft he abode with them and wrote for by their
Occupation.
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 So Paul had an occupation.
They were tent makers.
What were they?
Tent makers.
Okay.
Yeah, so Paul, besides working construction, knew how to work with his hands also and to provide.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's good to learn the skilled trade and have multiple streams of income because we are living in a hustle generation nowadays. We're not living in the pension generation like our fathers and grandparents who can work one job for 30 years and then ride into the sunset with a pension. We got to learn have multiple streams of income because it's the hustling age that we're in. So the more you learn, the more better off you have a chance to survive. And we want to go to Acts chapter 20, starting at verse 34.
34.
You want to read these again?
Yeah. Ye yourself know that these hands have ministered unto my
Necessity. Say it.
necessities and to them that were with me.
So this is the Apostle Paul talking. Continue verse 35.
I have
Showed
showed you all things have how that so laboring ye out to support the weak and to remember the words of the Lord Yahushua, how he said, it is more blessed to give than to receive.
God.
So it is more blessed to give than to receive.
Let's go to the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verses 1 through 3.
You want me to read for you then?
I can read it. I can read it.
Oh, yeah,
Read
yeah.
it.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, verse 1 through 3. The book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 1 through 3.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verses 1 through 3.
Right there.
But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. You who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying Adonai that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction.
So these pastors out here, they not working, they not laboring, they living off for the people, and they bringing destruction upon themselves. They sitting there, they eating unclean foods, eating lobster, shrimp, pernil, crab, pork shoulder, pork chops, and they not taking care of themselves. Read.
And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of.
So we telling you the God will hear that your pastors is not speaking of the righteous path. They not giving you the scriptures as written. They telling you that the law's done away with. They not laboring for themselves and they living off you. But you telling us when we give you the truth that it's evil spoken. Go ahead.
And through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not.
So they got a punishment coming for them for not telling you to get out there and work. They out here passing all this stuff out here that you see on the Sabbath to be seen of men, instead of giving you these job applications or even bringing you to the righteous ways of the Most High to feed you spiritually.
Hold on.
And it's like at these churches, all they do is just take from the community and give you crumbs back. They might give you a turkey or a Christmas basket around the holidays to make it look like they have something. But they're not creating businesses or hospitals or school systems so we can teach our own people with all the tithe money they're getting. They're just taking. And the Bible says, we brought out in Acts 20:35 that it's better to give than to receive.
Y'all can bring up verse 4.
Alright. This is 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4. For if Elohim spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness, to be reserved unto judgment.
Go ahead. Keep reading.
And spared not the whole world, but saved Noah and 8 persons, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly.
Go ahead.
And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
Go ahead.
For that righteous man dwelling among them, in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. Now Yahweh knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, to be punished.
So the unjust, they're going to be delivered to punishment for not teaching you the righteous ways of the Lord, for living off the people and making merchandise of you. And some of y'all don't even want to hear it, because the words that we speaking to you is evil spoken to you. And we trying to give you the righteous ways and the right ways on how you should be living. Putting in work for the Most High and putting in work for yourselves.
It's like I got a precept.
Go ahead, bring it up.
Matthew 5 and 19.
You know, Brandon, I want to say that a lot of pastors know the truth. They know that you're Israelites. They know we're supposed to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But they don't want to teach it because there's no money. There's nothing in it for them. So they're not going to teach you the ways of the Most High because they don't want you to be a novice. They don't want to teach. They don't want you to know the Bible, so because you won't need them no more.
T.D. Snakes knows that you the Israelites. He even said that he's descendants of the Israelites. He's descendants of the Evos. But he ain't trying to teach you that in all righteousness, because he wants to make the money off you. That's why he calls the people that's bringing you the truth what he calls potato chip prophets.
Right. Yeah, they see our videos on YouTube. They see Israelites on the street corners, on highways and byways. So the truth is out there now.
And Salakis, they have also laid in bed with evil, and they can't turn back. I mean, they can't turn back, but the gifts that Satan has given them, they don't want to give up.
Eyes blinded.
Yeah.
Let me read what Sister.
They're not blinded. They're doing it with eyes wide open.
Salaki, let me read what Sister Notoria LeCompte brought out. Shalom, Sister Notoria.
Shalom.
The reason why the churches is giving out turkeys and Christmas and Easter baskets is because they have a 501c3. That's the only reason the money is not coming out their pocket. So everything that's coming in church, for the most part, we know is going in the pastor pocket, with being non-tax deductible, or being all tax deductible rather.
Salakia, also, for those who don't know, the 501c3 is tax exempt status that's given to religious organizations by the American government in exchange for them never to speak against the government, in exchange for them not to speak about homosexuality, not to speak about the truth of the Bible, pretty much. There's a set doctrine, or what in college you would call it a syllabus that they have to follow, or in the movie industry you would call it a script.
So 501c3 for church organizations is what's that? It's a covenant with death and hell.
So this is the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 19.
Bring it up.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
And that's laying the treasures up in heaven that me and the Lord are not going to get no much recognition down here on in this kingdom.
Come.
But they're going to be called great. So I'd rather be called least in this kingdom and be called great and have a crown in the kingdom of heaven.
Come.
Got one more precept here.
Come on, bring it up.
Bring it out.
This is the book of Ezekiel. Let me make sure I got it right.
All right.
Chapter 3. Verse 17, and we're going to go down to verse 19. Okay? So this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me.
Come.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, not maybe, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
Come.
Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
That's right.
That's right.
So we're not just here to try to turn you to the Most High. We're not here to just warn you and rebuke you. We're not just here for you. We're here for ourselves.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? We don't want to say it's a selfish reason, but we have true fear of the Most High. And we know because He has given us this treasure called this knowledge that we have a responsibility.
Come.
And our punishment shall be great if we do not blow that trumpet
Come.
and warn the people.
Come.
And that's part of the responsibilities if you claim to be a laborer of the Most High to warn the people according to the scriptures, not to your own heart imaginations. But tell them this scripture says we shouldn't be doing this or that. So you're neglecting your job to the Most High then, by warning the people. Close out.
Yeah.
All right, Psalms 19. Oh no, yeah, that's it.
Well,
Go to your Psalms 19.
hold on.
Yeah, I give it to me. I give it to me.
Hold on. First and foremost, we want to say once again, all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai. And we want to say greetings once again to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered abroad. And we want to give a shout out to Sister Natora Lacan.
Shalom.
We want to say shout out to our brother Chris Aponte. We ain't heard from you in a minute.
Shalom, Chris.
Good to see you on the feed. We want to say shout out to brother Jarvis Israel, brother Uriel,
Shalom.
Mac News 144.
When we shout out to Abiel, you know.
Shout out to brother Abiel for posting the scriptures on there. Shalom. And we just want to say, you know,
Amos 2 was on.
oh yeah, we want to give a shout out to brother Amos Get At Us. You know what I mean? And you can look us up on Mac News 144. You can look us up on Yahweh, Servant of Yahweh at Black Junction TV. YouTube at Mikael7, Rise the Chosen at gmail.com. And on Facebook, you can look us up at Facebook, Rise the Chosen, Truth Beyond the Surface Temple. And you can look up at our Brethren's page, Judah Knights of Israel, for some other content as well. And friends who love Truth Beyond the Surface Temple. And with that, we say Shalom. Let's read, gentlemen.
This is the book of Psalms.
This is the book of Psalms. We're going to read this together, fellas. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer.
Quote Yasharallah!
Quote Yasharallah!
Quote Yasharallah!
Quote Yasharallah!
Quote Yasharallah!
Quote Yasharallah!
All praise to the Most High, Kahala, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah, Barakatha.
To all the Akim out there doing this work in truth and sincerity, we want to say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.